Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for TEAS. We have been solving TEAS math problems out of this book here, the TEAS Official Study Guide, version 7, 2025. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. Always make sure that this book is in front of you when we are working together. Today is our lesson number 21. We are on page number 112. On page 112 you will see some practice problems 1 through 5. We're going to do problem number 2 first. Problem number 2 deals with the concept of rounding. So there are a whole bunch of entries there, about a dozen or so, maybe more than a dozen, and we are asked to round these quantities to whatever place that they tell us. For example, here's number 1. We have 34.19, that's the number that we're given to us, and we are told to round this number, round to the 10th digit. 10th with the TH. 10th digit. So what is the 10th digit? So 10th digit is right here, that's what we have to round. And as we learned yesterday, the rule is very straightforward, it's a very simple process. If the digit to the right of it, the very next one, if it's 5 or more, we have to round this one up. Obviously this is a 9, so the 1 will become 2. That's all. 34.19 will become 34.2. Let's do the next one, shall we? The next one that is given to us is in the form of a fraction. We are given 6/7, and we are being asked to round this thing to the nearest ones. It's called ones digit, or sometimes it's also called unit digit. Same thing. Whether you call it unit digit or ones digit, same thing. 6/7. What about 6/7? Well, obviously, if you look at the line from 0 to 7, halfway is 3.5. That's a simple rule. So if it's more than 3.5, we round it up. Obviously, this is 6. 6/7 is almost 1. We are way over here. So 6/7, when rounded to nearest 1, will become 1. Now instead of 6/7, if we had, well, we can't do it there, if we had 2/7 and we were asked to do the same thing, we were asked to round it to nearest ones digit or unit digit, 2/7 would have become 0, because it's towards 0, because it goes from 0 to 7. Why 7? Because we're dividing it by 7. So we break it up into 7 equal parts and we look for the halfway mark. Here's the next one. Let's erase these two then. We just do 2 at a time. Oh, I didn't mean to erase the 7.219, and this time we are asked to round it to not hundred, but hundredths digit. And where is the hundredth digit? This is the 10th digit, because this tells you how many tenths we have, and this is the hundredth digit. 7.215, when written out like separately, is 7 plus 2 over 10. That's why it's called 10th digit, because it tells you how many tenths we have. And this 1 is 1 over 100. And then 9 over 1,000. That's what this number is. This number 7.129 is this number, which is why 2 is called the 10th digit, 1 is called the hundredth digit because it tells you how many hundredths we have, and 9 is called the thousandth digit. We are being asked to round it to nearest hundredth digit again. So this is the guy we are interested in, hundredth digit. If you take a look at to the left of it, it's a 9. Of course, it's more than 5. If it's more than 5, this has to be rounded up. So 7.219 will become 7.22. This 1 will become 2 because the digit next to it is more than 5. 5 or more, not necessarily more than 5, but 5 or more. Let's take a look at the next one. (933) 740. 933, I don't know why it's 933. Just give me 1 second. If it is 933 and we are asked to round it to nearest thousands, Then, yes, we are being asked to round it to nearest thousands. Nearest thousand. See what happens. When I was doing it myself, in a hurry, I wasn't paying attention, and I rounded it to 900. That answer is wrong. That answer is wrong because we're being asked to round it to nearest thousand. What is the nearest thousand to 900? Again, the thousand is right here. And this is 0. So anything that is 500 or more, when you're asked to round it to nearest thousand, it will become 1000, not 900. Let's do one more, something that is not in the book. For example, if you were asked to round 501, if you were asked to round 501 to nearest thousand, it will still 501 when rounded to nearest thousand will become 1000, because this is a halfway mark. If it is 500 or more, it doesn't even have to be 501. It could have been simply 500.1. If somebody asks us to round 501.1 to nearest thousand, 500.1 is sitting right here. 500.1 is sitting right here. It's closer to 1000 than it is to 100. Let's do the next one. Let's erase this thing, we need the room. The next one is 2.739, and we're being asked to round it to the nearest hundredth, TEAS. Hundredth digit is right here. Again, the digit to the left of it is 9, it's more than 5, so it will simply become 2.74. Let's do the next one. $32.834, round it to nearest tenths. Well, this is the 10th digit. 8 is the 10th digit. So we take a look at to the right of it, and to the right we find 3. To the right of it we see 3. Since 3 is less than 5, it will be rounded down. It will not become 32.9, it will become 32.8. And we drop everything else because this is less than half, or less than 5 rather. Let's do one more just to make it interesting. 32.834, if we are asked to round it to nearest tens without the th, nearest tens, again you draw a scale, your scale, and you ask yourself, you go from 30 to 40. Where does 32 fall? Halfway mark is 35, 32 is somewhere here. Which one is the nearest one? Is this the nearest one to this guy, or is this the nearest one to that guy? That's the idea. The nearest tens is 30. Do you understand? On the other hand, if we were asked to round 37 to the nearest tens, it would have been 40, because 37 would have fallen here. Let's do the next one. What did we do just now? 32 point. Let's do the next one. 37.494, rounded to nearest. We just did that. There's no reason for it. Let's do the next one. 23 divided by 50. 23 divided by 50, and we are asked to round it to nearest ones or unit digit. So let's see what we can do. So here we are dividing into 50 equal parts. So you draw your line. From 0 to 50, and you ask yourself, what's the halfway mark? Halfway mark is 25. Is this guy 23? Is it to the left of this guy or to the right of this guy? Is 23 closer to 50 or is it closer to 40? Well, in this case it wouldn't be 40, but because it's a fraction, it's closer to this guy, which means this is less than half, which means when you round it to nearest ones, it just becomes 0. It's close, because this is 0 and this is, we're dividing into 50 equal parts. This, had it been 25 over 50 would have been exactly half. We would have rounded to 1. Similarly at 27 over 25, when you round it to nearest ones or a digit or a ones digit, it becomes 1. Let's do one more. 7 and 2/3. 7 and 2/3 rounded to nearest ones or unit digit. Well, 7 and 2/3 is 3 parts, right there, up to 3. 1, 2. We are here. Halfway mark is somewhere here. So are we close to this end or that end? 2 is right here. We're close to that end, which means round up. 7 and 2/3 will become 8. Had it been 7 and 1/3, and if we were rounding it to nearest ones, it would become 7. You get the idea, because 1/3 is less than half, 2/3 is more than half. 64.736 rounded to nearest tenth. Nearest 10th digit. 10th digit right now is 7. To the right of it we only have a 3. 3 is less than 5. So it becomes 64.7. Let's do the next one. 547 rounding to nearest tenths. Nearest tenths is 47, which means we have to look at the scale from 40 to 50 and ask ourselves, where does 47 fall? Does it fall closer to 50 or does it fall closer to 40? 47, halfway mark is 45. Since this guy is more than 5, which means it's closer to 50, 547, when you round it to nearest tens, it becomes 550. On the other hand, if you were given the same number, 547, and if you were asked to round it to nearest 100, again we ask ourselves the same question. We go from 500 to 600. And we ask ourselves, where does 47 fall? Does it fall closer to this end or does it fall closer to that end? Well, 550 is the halfway mark. And we are at 47. This guy falls closer to this guy. So 547 when rounded to nearest 100 will become 500. Let's do the next one. $878 rounded to nearest 100. As you can see, it's very easy to see. 878 is more than 850. It's closer to 900. Therefore, it becomes 900. 87.357 to the nearest hundredth with the TH, hundredth digit. This is the hundredth digit. And to the right is 7. 7 is more than 5, so this 5 will become 6. It will become 87.36. Let's do the next one. 32.95 rounded to nearest tenth. Nearest tenth. Well, this is the 10th digit. And since this is 5 or more, watch what happens. This is going to get a little tricky. Since this guy is 5 or more, that's the rule. If it's 5 or more, then the one to the left of it has to be rounded up. It is 5 or more. This is a 5. It's 5 or more. So this 9 has to become 10. But when it becomes 10, this digit will become 0 and it will become 32. or rather 33. Which you can, I'm making a lot of fuss about nothing, which you can clearly see that 32.95 is of course become 33. Even though they're asking us to round in the nearest tenth, it becomes 33 because this 9 turns into a 10. Let's do the same number, 32.95, and this time let's round it to nearest tenths digits, tenths, without the th. So where does it fall between 30 and 40? Between 30 and 40 it falls much closer to 30. So when you round this number to nearest tenths, it just becomes 30. Let's do two more. $483.34 to the nearest tenths. Tenths. Well, 83. Where does 83 fall? So tenths means we are interested in these two guys. There's 80. This is the tenths digit. So where do we fall? Between 80 and 90. Does 83 fall closer to this guy or that guy? 85 is the midway point. 83 is here. We are much closer to this guy than we are to that guy. So when you round in nearest tens, it just becomes 480. Let's do the same thing, but this time let's round it to same number, 483.34, but this time let's round it to nearest hundreds. So if you're talking about hundreds, the scale now is from 400 to 500. 400 to 500. Halfway mark is 450. So this guy, does it fall towards this end or this end? 483 is going to fall very close to 500. If it's anything that is 450 or more, when rounded to nearest 100 becomes 500 because it falls closer to 500. So this will become 500. That's all I have. We did many more extra problems than what you find in the book. Quite a few more than what they've given us, but that's okay. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.